What's up, YouTube? It's Onion Bomb here, and welcome to my Week 13 NFL game predictions. Now, before we go and predict the games for Week 13, let's look back and see how I did for Week 12. And as you guys can see, I did a really good record of 11-5. That's amazing. That's very close to my best record of all time, which is 12-4. And it looks like we're back to 16 games a week, so no team should go on a bye week anymore. That brings the total record to 96-65, almost breaking 100 guesses correct, and having a much greater number on the guesses correct side than the guesses incorrect side. Now, I do want to apologize for last week because I didn't get that video up till very late on, I think, Friday night, and of course, it was Thanksgiving week, so 3 games instead of 1 were played on Thursday, so I missed 3 games instead of only missing 1, so that's unfortunate. But as you guys will hear here in a second, I did not cheat because I only went like 1-2 for Thursday, so if I cheat, I would go 3-0. Unless I did that on purpose to trick you guys. No, I'm kidding. I didn't cheat, guys. I promise. You can trust me. But let's see which games I got right and got wrong. We have the Vikings beating the Lions. I got that wrong. I knew the Vikings were better. I just took that as an upset. But speaking of upsets, the Chargers beat the Cowboys very heavily, 28-6. I got that wrong. And even though they did that, which is impressive, they are not the second scariest team in the AFC. I don't care if you call me biased or not. You have to admit the Steelers are way scarier than the Chargers. Even so, like, other teams are scarier than the Chargers. They said, did you see that Instagram post that said, besides the Patriots, the Chargers are the most scary AFC team? Yeah, no. The Steelers are way scarier than the Chargers. And even, you could probably find other teams scarier than the Chargers, but that's beyond the point. Alright, next up, Redskins beat the Giants. I got that right. Those are the Thursday games, like I said, going 1 and 2. Alright, Bengals beat the Browns. Got that right. No surprise there. Panthers beat the Jets. Got that right. Titans beat the Colts. Got that right. Falcons beat the Buccaneers. Got that right. Patriots beat the Dolphins. Got that right. Eagles beat the Bears, got that right. Decent winning streak, but then the Bills beat the Chiefs. Unfortunate, the Chiefs are they went 5-0, and now they're 6-5 or 5-6 or something. Very unfortunate. The Seahawks beat the 49ers, got that right. The Raiders beat the Broncos, got that right. The Rams beat the Saints, I got that wrong. That was a pretty good game, I have to say. The Cardinals surprisingly beat the Jaguars. Of all teams to beat the Jaguars from their winning streak. I got that wrong. But hey, like I've been saying for a while now that the Titans are going to overtake that division. But the Jaguars did have a decent chance at a wild card. Steelers beat the Packers, not by much. That was, oh my god, that was as stressful as I thought it was going to be. It just, nothing new to Steelers fans. They play down to their competition. We've been over this before. And the Ravens beat the Texans. Even though I got that right, I hope I didn't want it to happen, but oh well. I hope they lose sometime. And I got the Steelers pick right too. If I didn't say that, I forget if I did or not. But yeah, that's what happened with my predictions with Week 12. Now let's finally move into Week 13. Alright, so here are my Week 13 predictions. Starting it off with Thursday Night Football. We have the Redskins and the Cowboys. And I'm taking the Redskins. Cowboys lost to the Chargers of all teams heavily. Redskins beat the Giants. Redskins have looking half decent. Nothing too shocking. Nothing too they're going to the playoffs and making the Super Bowl. But they're actually looking better than the Cowboys right now. Zeke definitely is a huge factor on that offense. Even though that's not really a surprise. I thought they could do something without him, but I'm not sure what's happening with Dallas. Maybe Maybe they'll come back this game. Maybe I'm wrong here, but I don't see it. I think the Redskins are going to take this one. All right, moving on to the Sunday games. The Chiefs and the Jets. And I got the Chiefs, like I said. I think they need a bounce. I know they need a bounce back, but I think they're going to do it this game. The Jets, they've been given good, bad teams games all year long. It's what they can they win it? Can they not? I don't think they're going to win this. I think the Chiefs are going to win this one and use this to start bouncing back and maybe taking a little more control over the division, which honestly, like, the Raiders have been choking, the Chiefs have been choking, the Broncos have been pretty bad, and the Chargers, they started off pretty bad, but now they're starting to come back around. So the AFC West is just all in, like, shambles. I have no idea what's going on there, but I think the Chiefs can start turning things around for them and win this game. Alright, next up, Patriots and Bills. Of course, you got the Patriots. The Bills have been on a losing streak after being very surprising, but they used the Chiefs game to come back and start winning. They won that one game. I think they're going to lose again, just because, the Patriots are the Patriots. Like, what else can I say there? Like, they're just the Patriots. That's literally all I need to say. Alright, next game, Broncos and Dolphins. Sadly, this was extremely hard to pick. Both of these teams have not been doing too hot this season, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos. Just why I actually don't know. I just feel like the Broncos can win this one. The Dolphins have been choking some, but I don't know. These are two very, very kind of bad teams. They should be good, but they're bad. And they're not making the playoffs, either of them. I don't think so. Really, I don't know. This one was kind of hard to pick, but I'm going with the Broncos, honestly, just because of their defense, maybe. I don't know. I'm more feeling the Broncos. Maybe it's because the Broncos were very, very elite once upon a time. All right, next up, the 49ers and the Bears. I have the Bears. This is even worse than the Broncos and Dolphins. This is a clash of two very, very, very bad teams. But the Bears did something this season. They did a couple things this season. So I think I'm taking the Bears just because they've done more than the 49ers this season. They have better players than the 49ers. 49ers didn't do anything besides beat the Giants, really. And the Bears, of course, they beat the Ravens, they beat the Steelers, and they beat someone else. I think it was like a divisional rival, like they beat like the Lions or the Vikings or something. I don't know. It was actually a pretty good team. I think it was the Vikings, actually. So yeah, I'm taking the Bears. I think they have more what it takes to get that done, even though they're still pretty bad. But yeah, I'm taking the Bears. Alright, next up, Lions and Ravens. I have the Lions. I think this is where the Ravens finally lose and just start. I want them to lose this more than anything. And the Lions are a decent team, and they can do this. I want the Ravens to lose. I want the Steelers to have, like, no question whatsoever in the division, which they really do. But I don't want the Ravens to have a wild card. That's my main issue. I don't want the Ravens to be the wild card because the Ravens could definitely beat the Steelers in the playoffs, and that would just suck. We could beat the Ravens in the playoffs too, but I don't even want that to be an option to lose to the Ravens. I want them out of here. I want them to start losing, and the Lions are definitely a team that could win to the Ravens. They're a good team. They can do this. I have the Lions winning this. Alright, next up, a really good game here. The Vikings and the Falcons. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Vikings have been really surprising. They've been really good, even with Case Keenum. I think that's no surprise there. They recently, I think, lost to, like, the Rams. But the Rams are really good, too. The Falcons, they've been playing better lately, but they've lost to way worse teams. The Vikings have showed me nothing to prove that they can't do this, so I'm going with the Vikings. They just seem like a really good team here, and I think they can win this. It's going to be a close one. It could go either way, but I really feel like the Vikings are going to win this one. All right, next up, Buccaneers and Packers. I'm going to go with the Packers. If Brett Hundley can play like he did against the Steelers, he can definitely beat the Buccaneers. But I know, the Steelers choke on defense, play down to their competition, so that's probably not the case. But I still going with the Packers just because I feel like this is an opportunity for Brett Hundley to get a win here. And I don't know, they have the Buccaneers are pretty much done for the playoffs. The Packers might have got their playoff hopes extinguished by losing to the Steelers, but they might have a little bit left. I'm not sure. But either way, I think the Packers are going to win this one. The Buccaneers just, I don't know, they haven't been doing anything lately. And I think Jameis Winston's still hurt. And yeah, Packers are winning that probably. All right, next up, Texans and Titans. I'm going to go with Titans. J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson are injured for the Texans. And the Titans, they have not really any injuries, so the Titans will win this one. The Texans have been struggling because of their injuries, so yeah, Titans all the way on this one. Not really much else to say there. On the other half of the AFC South, the AFC South, the Colts and the Jaguars. I don't know what happened to the Jaguars that they lost to Arizona, but I'm going to say they bounce back here and beat the Colts. Arizona without not only their starting quarterback Carson Palmer, but without their second starting quarterback, with their third, and without David Johnson. They're pretty trash, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what happened there, Jacksonville, but I think they can beat the Colts because the Colts without Andrew Luck are pretty trash as well. It's very, very sad that some quarterbacks, are like the whole team, and like without a quarterback, you're just done for. I know when Ben gets injured, I'm like, oh my god, we're over. So it's not fun at all. It's just so heartbreaking. But anyway, the Jaguars are winning that. I'm not sure what happened against the Cardinals, but they got done against the Colts. Alright, next up is a very, very interesting game. It's the Browns versus the Chargers. Now, as you guys recall, last year the Browns went 1-15. Their only one win, was against the Chargers. So this is a very interesting rematch. I'm gonna take the Chargers. The Chargers cannot let the Browns beat them again. Like, they cannot be their only win again. That would be so embarrassing. They'll never live down the memes. They already have a bunch of memes against them. They just cannot let the Browns beat them again. Plus, they have been winning pretty good, and they have been, of course, they're the second scariest team in the AFC. Yeah, and you know what? I almost hope the Browns beat them just because of that Instagram post, because that got me a little bit mad. It might be on other social media too. I just saw it on Instagram. But yeah, I think the Chargers could definitely do that. But that, in all seriousness, that for a Browns fan, that is one of the games that they could win left. Otherwise, there's like one other game, maybe two other games, and they might be looking at another 0-6, not another 0-16 season, but they might be looking at an 0-16 season. But yeah, Chargers can't let it happen again. They'll win this. Alright, next up, Rams and Cardinals. I got the Rams. The Rams are a really talented team. Cardinals, injury hit them hard this year. Even without injury, they're kind of like, eh. Yeah, they got lucky against the Jaguars. even though the Jaguars aren't even like that elite. They're just pretty good. The Rams got this one 100%. They've been way better teams. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to get that done. Alright. Giants and Raiders. Next up, I have the Raiders. Giants, of course, are the Giants, and they have been 2 surprising victories. 1 really surprising victory against the Chiefs. And I forget the other one, but against the Broncos, which not now, since the Broncos' later performances, that doesn't seem too surprising. But yeah, injury hit them hard. And Raiders, they just need a bounce back. They can take their division if they work hard enough against the Chiefs, because Chiefs have been choking lately. So they could definitely use this. So I definitely think momentum is on their side, and the Raiders can get this one. Next up, a very, very good matchup. The Panthers and the Saints. This one was probably the hardest one I had to pick for. I was debating between, wanted to say Panthers, but I wanted to say Saints. I think, but Saints have been winning so much, they have to lose sometime. The Panthers have to do it, but the Saints are just too good. The Panthers, I'm going with the Saints. I'm going with the Saints. Saints have just been on an absolute winning streak. Panthers are a team that could end it, but I think they'll get through it, because a lot of people say the Saints are going to win. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to follow the crowd for once, and I'm going to pick the Saints. I think. I'm very undecisive about that one, but I've always said Saints, so I'm going with it. Alright, next up, the Eagles and the Seahawks. Another Saints are playing twice. No, the Eagles and the Seahawks. Another really, really, really good game. I'm going with the Seahawks. The Eagles, really unstoppable. According to a lot of expertise, they're the best team in the league right now, even with counting the Patriots. They have the best record in the league at only 1 loss. And that was against the Chiefs back when they were undefeated. But I feel like they're going to lose more. I've been saying that for a while. And this is definitely a game they could lose. Seahawks are really good. So I'm going with the Seahawks on this one. And the Eagles are still going to be elite. And they're still going to win their division by miles. But they are going to lose this game, I think. Very good game. Could go either way. But I say the Eagles are going to lose this week. Alright. Last game. Monday Night Football is my game. The Steelers and the Bengals. And of course, I have the Steelers, because the Steelers are not losing to the Bengals. And the Steelers just, gonna continue their win streak. Might play down. No, they really don't. The Steelers don't really play down to the Bengals, really. They beat the Bengals pretty heavily sometimes. Not heavily, but by 1 or 2 touchdowns. It's still probably going to be stressful. It's going to be a question, but I think the Steelers will definitely get this done. Because, yeah, they got done twice last year. They can do it twice again this year. So those are my Week 13 predictions. Let's go through them real quick and recap them. I have the Redskins beating the Cowboys, the Chiefs beating the Jets, the Patriots beating the Bills, the Broncos beating the Dolphins, the Bears beating the 49ers, the Lions beating the Ravens, the Vikings beating the Falcons, the Packers beating the Buccaneers, the Titans there it is, the mess up. We did good last week, but can't do it again. The Titans beating the Texans, the Jaguars beating the Colts, the Chargers beating the Browns, the Rams beating the Cardinals, the Raiders beating the Giants, the Saints beating the Panthers, the Seahawks beating the Eagles, and the Steelers beating the Bengals. Those are all the games I predict. If you want to see how I do, make sure you watch Week 14's prediction video. It's going to recap like I did with Week 12 this week, but only with Week 13. And of course, you can see my predictions for Week 14. And as the NFL slowly comes to the end of the season, which is crazy, I just hope the Steelers do good in the playoffs. So, thank you guys so much for watching. like or dislike, subscribe or unsubscribe. You know, it's always up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you watch of me. A good bye.